We are from the group 8 and we will present about high-rate anaerobic process. Member of the group are, my name is Safira Arlisa Devi, student number 103, and then my friend Muhammad Farhan, student number 104, and the last one, Laksmana Riswanda, student number 105. Okay, our journal title is High-rate anaerobic treatment of domestic wastewater at ambient operating temperature, review on benefit and drawbacks. Point 1. Types of detailed tools specification. The specification is the UASB system. The UASB reactor PIC3 was first developed by Letinga in the Netherlands. An important feature of this reactor is the presence of very active biomass at the bottom of the reactor. The UASB reactor operates entirely as a suspended growth system and uses no packing material. Microbes stick to each other or small particles of suspended material to form granules that have excellent setting properties. Next, the UASB process was originally developed in the Netherlands to treat medium to high-strength industrial waste. The flow moved upward through a mud blank consisting of biological foam grains. Granules are the most significant reactor sect. They are 1 until 3 mm in size and may be dark brown, smooth, granular, or flocculent. As the influent comes into contact with the solid granular sludge blanket, the organics are degraded to CH4 and CO2. The resulting gas causes internal recirculation and upward velocity that keep the granules in suspension. Point 2. Types of wastewater characteristic and removal efficiency. Liquid or discharged water in water that can no longer be used and can harm human and environment. The existence of liquid waste is not expected in the environment because it has no economic value. Proper processing of liquid was in priority so as not to pollute the environment. And then, characteristics of liquid water can be classified as follows. Number 1, physical characteristic. The physical characteristics of wastewater that need to be known are totally solid, smell, temperature, density, color, conductivity, and turbidity. Number 2, chemical characteristics. In wastewater, there are 3 chemical characteristics that need to be identified, namely organic, inorganic, and gaseous material. Number 3, biological characteristics. Biological characteristics become the basic for controlling the incidence of disease caused by pathogenic organisms. These biological characteristics are like bacteria and other microorganisms, which are present in the decomposition and stability of organic compost. Oke, poin 3 akan dibacakan oleh teman saya Muhammad Farhan.
Okay. About the process. Flow, influent, and overload. High-rate anaerobic process. The anaerobic wastewater treatment process is a calculation without using oxygen by anaerobic bacteria. The characteristic of the anaerobic process is the formation of methane gas. In the anaerobic process, it is very active in the activity of anaerobic microorganisms. Next. There are three basic steps involved in the entire anaerobic oxidation process, namely hydrolysis, fermentation, and metagenesis. They are step 1 hydrolysis process, step 2 fermentation process, and step 3 metagenesis. Next, hydrolysis process. During the hydrolysis process, fermentation bacteria convert insoluble complex organic matter such as cellulose into soluble molecules such as fatty acids, amino acid, and sugar. The complex polymer material is hydrolyzed into monomer, for example, cellulose, to become sugar or alcohol. However, the anaerobic digestion process is very slow and becomes limited in the decomposition of cellulosic waste containing lignin. Next, fermentation process. In the fermentation process, oxidogenic acid-forming bacteria convert sugar, amino acid, and fatty acid into organic acid, acetic acid, propionate, butyrate, lactane, fomate, alcohol, and conate, ethanol, methanol, glycerol, and acetone, acetate, CO2, and H2. The main product of this fermentation process is acetylate. The result of this fermentation vary depending on the type of bacteria and culture condition such as pH and temperature. Next, metagenesis. The metagenesis process is carried out by a group of microorganisms known as metagenetic bacteria. Two groups of metagenetic bacteria are involved in the methane production process. The first group, acetotic metagenesis, divides acids into methane and using hydrogen as an electron donor and CO2 as an electron acceptor to produce methane. Bacteria in anaerobic process, namely acetogenic bacteria, are also able to add CO2 to oxidant and form acetic acid, where acetic acid is converted to methane. About 72% of the methane production in the anaerobic digester is the formation of acetate. Oke, selanjutnya akan diterangkan oleh teman saya Laksmana Retswanda.
Advantage and disadvantage. Next, the advantage of the anaerobic process are: 1. A high degree of stability. 2. Low biological waste sludge product. 3. Low nutrient requirements. 4. Methane gas is produced which can be used as energy source. The disadvantages of the anaerobic process are: 1. Requires a large area. 2. Requires a large amount of energy if the aeration pool is equipped with an aerator. Next. Conclusion. one of important stages of wastewater treatment in the coagulation stage. At this stage, pollutants in water that are stable are made unstable by removing their charge. Anaerobic waste processing using biofilter media can reduce organic pollutant in waste and TSS properly. Next. 2. The addition of an aerobic process after the anaerobic process with a reliable aeration speed can increase the efficiency of reducing the total organic pollutant and TSS. Next. 3. The anaerobic water treatment process with a biofilter system and combined with an aerobic process produce anaerobic and aerobic effluents that are far below the quality standard set by the government by the decree of the governor or KDKI Jakarta now number 582 in 1995. Next. Reference. Oke, thank you. Saya kembali lagi kepada teman saya Safira Arlisa. Terima kasih.
Oke. Jadi buat teman-teman semuanya, saya perwakilan dari kelompok 8 Teknik UPN, Teknik Lingkungan Veteran Jawa Timur, Paralel C. Apabila ada pertanyaan, dan semoga saya dan teman-teman saya bisa menjawab, kalian bisa komen, dan jangan lupa like, subscribe. Terima kasih.